We're going to be talking about sequences, and there's two sequences we're going to talk about: arithmetic sequences and geometric sequences. First, we'll talk about arithmetic sequences, and they can be changed by the same amount each time. So every time we are moving a number, we are adding or subtracting the same amount. And one way we can figure out how much the number is changing each time, or the pattern, is by subtracting the first term from the second term. So subtracting the first term from the second term. So that means we're going to find the second term and subtract the first term. So 5 minus 3 would be 2. And it's a positive 2, so we're going to put plus 2. So 3 plus 2 gets us 5. 5 plus 2 gets us to 7. 7 plus 2 gets us to 9, and we're figuring out our sequence. 9 plus 2 gets us to 11, and 11 plus 2 gets us to 13. Now this works the same way if we're starting out with a bigger number and getting to a smaller number. We're going to do 22 minus 24. If you type that in your calculator, you're going to get negative 2, or minus 2. So 24 minus 2 is 22. 22 minus 2 is 20. 20 minus 2 is 18, and 18 minus 2 is 16. So it's important to know that the common difference is what we're looking at. This plus 2 and the minus 2 is the common difference between the numbers. So it's the common difference between the two numbers in the arithmetic sequence. So arithmetic sequence is, in it we can write the current term as a variable and then add the pattern to it. So when we use a variable to write our pattern, so our pattern is adding 4. So any number that we're talking about, we're adding 4 to it. So a number plus 4. N plus 4 would be our expression. If we were subtracting, we said our pattern was minus 3, it would be N minus 3. So you write it like this. This N is just showing what number comes first. So if we said 24 would go here minus 2. And we could figure out our sequence from there. So we're going to do an example. So we have 29, 22, 15, 8, 1, and negative 6. So we need to figure out the common difference between these two numbers. So we said we can subtract the first term from the second. So we're going to do 22 minus 9, and you get negative 7. So our difference in our two numbers is negative 7. So 29 minus 7 gets us 22. 22 minus 7 gets us 15. 15 minus 7 gets us 8. 8 minus 7 gets us 1. And 1 minus 7 gets us negative 6. The type of sequence this is the arithmetic. The pattern we have was minus 7. And the expression, so we don't know what the first number is, so that would be N. And our second part of our expression would be this minus 7. So any number minus 7 would help us figure out our sequence. We could plug in 29 as N and get the next number in our sequence. So we now need to figure out what would be the next term in the sequence B. So what would come after negative 6? So we would plug negative 6 in as our N. So negative 6 minus 7. Negative 6 minus 7 would be negative 13. So the next term that would be in our sequence would be negative 13.